guys, it's my lunch break. It is the 18th of September. I am not going to make a square today because I made a square later on in the evening time on Tuesday, which actually worked out. I was not going to put this towards my tapestry, but I really wanted to figure out the second eyeball square that I had been working on that I said that I had made twice, and I did figure it out and I did complete it, and she big. So I'm going to use this as 9/18 square. Look how beautiful. This would be just really pretty as a like tapestry piece. So 9/18. And the reason why I'm taking a break from 9/18, and I also didn't make a square yesterday because I already made the square for Wednesday, is because I need to start working on a hat, and I also need to bust my butt to finish my cardigan because I have not done any more than 5 squares, and I would like to have an additional 10 made going into next week. Also, I'm going to show this. This is a baby hat that I did yesterday. So this is a free pattern that I found on the interweb. This is for 6 to 12 months. Are kids' heads really this big? If you have children, if you have babies, can you confirm this? I followed the pattern. This seems really big. I mean, like, I know some kids got big old domes, but like, this is almost my size head. And she posted this picture and was like, how much would you charge for that? And it was so funny because I was describing it to my friend Amy, and I was like, oh yeah, she sent me this picture of a baby in a stock pot. And then I realized that sounds like she's cooking her baby. And that is not what I meant. What I meant was it's for a baby's first Thanksgiving photo. So I was like, free for you? But if this is too big for her, he still needs eyeballs. So I'm going to do that after work. That'll take like 10 minutes. But if this is too big for her baby's head, I'm going to sell this one. How much would you guys pay for this? Like, complete. I'm thinking like 15, 20? 20? Anyway, I told her if it's too big for her kid's head, I'll sell this one at the market that I have not made any inventory for. And I will make her the one that is smaller, the 0 to 3 month one. So we'll figure that out. This is so big. I mean, babies really got that big of heads? Parents, please weigh in. Hey kids, so this is the last square that I showed you. This would have been Thursday the 18th. So just really quickly, I also did not make a square on Friday, and that is because I was working on my cardigan because I realized that I had made all the squares that I had made up until that point too small, so I had to go through and add an extra row on like 12 squares, making them a perfect 6 by 6 inches. I thought I had 6 by 6 inches and I didn't, and then I was like, you know what, I'm kind of bored with this. I feel like it needs reverse squares. So I'm going to alternate the mustard in this one. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about my cardigan in this video, but I'm still trying to work out the kinks on how I want to do like work in progress / big project. And I think I'm going to do work in progress when I don't do like a 30-day challenge, and do them bi-weekly. So 1 week WIP, the next week big project, which is technically WIP, but you get to see the, I suppose, finished results there in the video instead of like it being a to be continued saga. Anyway, so that's why. And I currently have, with that one, 16, 17 squares. Each square takes me 59 minutes and 9 seconds, by the way. I timed myself. And the state I live in, minimum wage is $7.25. So if you do the math, each square costs $7.14 to make. So by the end of this, and I'm not talking assembly, I'm not talking, adding ribbing and cuffing, just making the squares, I want to say, I'm going to round it, this already, and that without materials, just my time, if I were to charge my time, this would be a $350 cardigan. So crazy. Anyway, so the 18th, I didn't make a square the 19th because I was preoccupied by that. But on Saturday, I was on the phone with my friend Gage as I was making another square. And I said, hey, pick 3 colors. He did. And it dawned on me, 'cause, like, first of all, I can't like watch a video or whatever and talk on the phone and make a granny square. So I was like, I also don't have a regular granny square, so that's what I did. He picked these colors, well, not the Kelly green, but the neon green, orange, and red, and I kind of love it. It's kind of like giving grandma's scrap pile. I love it. And then I made another square that day, because I was like, I'm gonna manifest fall vibes, and so I made a pumpkin. This one's by the Nodding Perch. I can't remember who this is from, but I'll figure that out and then put the link below. I did not add a stem to it because I just could not be bothered at the time. But this was Sunday's. So Sunday was the 21st. And then today's, I want to talk a little bit about today's. So I wanted to make, I'm on a fruit kick right now. And so I wanted to find a kiwi because I really like that green and brown combination. So I found a pattern and I started making it. And when we got to about the third row, I was like, this isn't going to turn out correct because they just gave incorrect instructions. It's really important to give correct instructions. So if you're putting out a paid like I understand that this pattern was free on YouTube, but I also have to invest 18 minutes of my time in order to get the pattern, right? So there's some kind of transaction going on there. My 18 minutes of my life for you to give me incorrect information, which is obnoxious. But I also had a situation earlier this week where I purchased a pattern, and I know it was only $5.50, but I purchased a pattern off of Ravelry, and the very first step in the pattern was make a favorite or make a beanie based on your favorite pattern. Let me tell you something. I could have been brand new, never crocheted a day in my life. Now, the person who wrote the pattern does continue on to say how she, very, very vaguely, how she would make a beanie, which is magic circle, magic loop, whatever you want to call it, double crochet 10, and then increase, right? You have to be clear. And also, when you say increase, you need to be clear as to what you mean, because if I were new to crochet and I understand 11, I did not do a good job with the embroidery. I just wanted to get it done for this video. 11, increase in each stitch. I know that that means 2 double crochet in each stitch, right? My roommate probably doesn't know that. She just picked crochet back up. All right. And then on the third row, which is the problematic row, it says increase into every stitch again, right? Increase into every stitch. That means we're putting 2 of whatever stitch we're using into every stitch of the previous round, right? That's not how you do that. What it should have said is 1 double crochet, increase, 1 double crochet, increase, 1 double crochet. And I was like, you know what, just for the sake of my video, I'm gonna go ahead and do this the way that they say it. And it caused issues, but I made it work, I think. And again, this is not going to anybody. It's not going to be made into any kind of piece of clothing. It's going to be made into a tapestry I'm going to hang in my art office. Okay. So at that point, I was just like, I'm not going to follow directions at all, or well, loosely. So then I put a border around the kiwi because I thought it looked better, because that's what a kiwi actually looks like. In the video, she just straight up goes from green, or I assume it's she, it could be he, I don't know. Can't tell based on your hands. But crochet is a heavily female dominated art form, so that's why I said it. Like, sorry, assumptions. Anyway, here's this border. I added that, and I just did single crochet all the way around, right? Because I think it looks better. In hers, his, theirs, they just did straight dark brown. Okay. Well, it got really crazy when we came to the border. I had to figure out how many single crochet to omit in order to get it to look anything like a square. So I actually had to use my brain on this one, which... and at the very end, I was just done with it. So, and in true, I didn't sew in anything. I just put a single crochet border around, but this is 9/22. Hey, guess what? We have 1 more week of the 30-day of Granny Squares challenge that nobody asked me to do. I just decided I was going to do it to rebrand my YouTube channel. and it's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot. But by God, this has been the most time consuming, and I have wanted to just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I made a commitment to myself that I was going to get through this. So I have literally one more week. I went ahead and I made today and tomorrow's. This is today's. This is by far my favorite square that I've done so far. And I mean that. I love it so much to wait in December, because I won't have time until December, I don't think, if I've calculated everything correctly. I'm going to use this to make myself a new purse. My dog stole my purse that my little sister made me for Christmas. It was a black bag, and on it, it had festive dinosaurs with sombreros, and they were also tacos. They were Tacosaurus Rexes. She decided she wanted to completely destroy the crossbody, this part, handle. So that was really upsetting. But I think this is in my color palette, which is not this. I mean, like, I love this, but I want it to be like brown, white, yellow, and maybe burgundy. I think that would be gorgeous. So maybe that's a plan for December. It's a necessity, along with a grocery bag, like the plastic one keeper, that also needs to get made. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's in the near future. This is tomorrow's. No, I'm not sewing the tails in. Actually, this one no, because I have 7 more. So unless it's going to affect the structural integrity of the square, I'm not going to sew in the tails for this. It's just, I'm going to sew it together and put it up on my wall. Like, no one's wearing it. It's not going to be covering up anybody to keep them warm. So if I was making an Afghan, I just want to be very clear. If I was making something for somebody, tails would be sewn in. Okay? But this is for me, for my wall. I'm not going to waste my time sewing in tails. Like, don't be ridiculous. Why would anybody want to? So this is today and tomorrow's. Oh, and November starts another 30-day of Granny Square Challenge. Lene's going to be in on this one for me, and we're going to make 30 Granny Squares each. And at the end of the month, we're going to combine them all and make a blanket for our living room. And I think that we're going to pick a color scheme and a size. That way they're all cohesive and easy to assemble at the end. But exciting things. Okay.